Students have the option of choosing which courses they enroll in, morning, afternoon, and night. Students must knock on doors and ask residents questions.
Since 1998, so a long time.
Biology professor at ECU, Tim Christensen, refers to the year that he began his fruit fly experiment. His lab is researching a significant protein with the help of fruit flies. Christensen says there's something special about the protein.
But this highly conserved protein that's found in yeast, flies, humans, rats, everything else, is also involved in chromosome condensation.
He says that protein is called MCM10.
MCM10, that stands for mini chromosome maintenance 10. So it was found in a screen using baker's yeast.
Christensen says that his research deals with DNA and chromosomes.
My lab investigates is the intersection between that copying the DNA, what's known as DNA replication, and how chromosomes are packaged.
Christensen runs his experiment with the help of two students, Ariana Rabaza and Caleb Hopkins.
Ariana is looking for genes that interact with MCM10 by doing genetic crosses using mutants in fruit flies.
Intern Ariana Rabaza says she's in charge of the flies' nutrition.
I have to keep all the flies alive, so I switch bottles and vials every month. So they'll have their food brand new and they won't die.
She says that because of this research, some new information might have been discovered.
We might have found one of the genes that is supposed to be interfering with our crosses and how the progeny comes out to be.
Lab assistant Caleb Hopkins records the flies' data. He says he tries to make sure the data is correct.
Keeping track of the notebook and making sure that I'm always keeping a really accurate documentation of what goes on in here.
He says the end result of the procedure is something he looks forward to.
Getting to see the final result of what you're doing is always, the goal of any kind of research.
Christensen's lab has many components and purposes, but he says he hopes to figure out the main function of the MCM10 protein.
If we can identify exactly what MCM10 does and its role, then we can design drugs and design treatments that address its role in cancer cells and essentially help fight cancer.
This is Shannon Martinez reporting for Pirate News Network.
ECU's social work program has implemented a fairly new program for their students. Dr. Yoon teaches Social Work Practice 3, which is the class where students take part in this multi-step project. Students are split into teams and then complete a community analysis paper. The last step is the Community Innovation Project. Dr. Yoon says this will help students learn a lot.
Social work students, they will work in a community sooner or later, but many students do not have actual experience to see the actual community. So by doing this community analysis paper, they will have a chance to see, so to speak, the other side of the community.
Social work student Lisa Sewell explains how exactly the project works.
We first decide on a community, and then we go into the community and we target areas where the community has needs. It might be elderly needs or youth needs, and then we try to implement an intervention that will help take care of that need.
Her group chose the West Middlebrook community in Greenville. Students must knock on doors in low-income areas and ask residents questions. One of the possible concerns of this project are student safety, but Dr. Yoon says that they're properly educated on what to do in case of an emergency.
Many of our students are female students, and going into community, not necessarily a safe community. Sometimes some community has some safety issues, crimes, so that's a really big concern, so that we try to educate students what to do and what not to do.
Sewell's project teammate Faith Borden wasn't concerned with safety. She says collecting the information went fine.
There was mentions that it wasn't a safe area, but we felt completely safe. There was a lot of elderly people and kids running around, so I think we felt completely safe, especially because we were there during the daylight hours.
Sewell's group has already completed the paper. They hope to resolve their community's need by December.
And we want to help expand that building by getting educational activities implemented, seeing if we can get more volunteers.
This is Shannon Martinez from Pirate News Network.